If you've ever driven in Denver, you've been there. You turn onto one of the city's narrow side streets or residential blocks and you come face to face with a car coming the opposite direction, the stare down. You have cars parked on both sides of you and you wonder, can you both make it past each other?
So this morning we go 360 on side street etiquette. Some say there's plenty of room, others not so much.
Denver 7's Nicole Brady finds out, is there a right way to navigate these narrow situations?
You're cruising down a residential street in Denver, sticking to the middle so you don't clip a mirror on a parked car. Then inevitably, it happens. You come face to face with another driver. And according to police, there really are no rules.
We're not aware of any law that states, who comes first going through a narrow street.
So with no law, no right way to do it, we're going 360 and asking, is there a best way? We spoke to Denver police, a driving instructor, residents on some of these narrow streets, as well as the drivers and cyclists who use them. First, though, we wanted to find out just how wide are these streets. According to city diagrams, a typical local street is 32 feet curb to curb, a perfect size if you're a cyclist like Jack Todd.
They're great because they're slower speeds typically.
Narrow streets are slower and safer for bicycles, but they weren't designed with today's traffic in mind.
The older streets were really built for kind of the horse and buggy culture of Denver. Cars have gotten just bigger and bigger and bigger, and they take up a lot more space on the road than they used to.
With the average vehicle over 6 feet wide and cars parked on both sides of a street, that leaves less than 20 feet for passing traffic. So, is there room for two cars to squeeze past each other?
There's definitely room for two cars.
Pearl Street resident Laura Homan says yes, but you have to be a good judge of your own vehicle and your own ability.
I think it's a confidence thing. I think you need to know what car size you have and then maybe figure out if you can scooch past.
This poster on the Nextdoor app, who called himself a squeezer, says vehicles should pass at the same time to keep traffic moving. But his post stirred up controversy, with dozens saying it's safer for one driver to pull over. Chuck LaMonica, owner of Mile High Driver Training, agrees. He brings his students to Denver's narrow streets to practice exactly this situation.
One thing you can do always if you've got an open space like this is pull over just a little to allow him room to get by safely. And again, it's just courtesy.
And that was a case where you had the space to do it, so you do it.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily think who was here first?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's all about my safety in the end, right?
While LaMonica believes pulling over is safer, this driver, Kyle Krieger, added it might also be better for your mental health. Why did you pull aside when you saw us coming?
Just because it's the right thing to do. It, helps keep people happy. Then I'm not going home mad that someone else was being a jerk to me on the road.
So maybe pull over and keep the peace instead of trying to squeeze. But what happens when you can't do either?
One time there was something like a Ram truck and a Hummer coming down the street, and they met in the middle and there weren't really any openings.
Jan Tilden, who lives on a narrow street, says big trucks can be a problem. Also big egos.
So the Hummer's kind of standing there like, yeah, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm in charge here. And the other truck is kind of like, I'm not moving.
Eventually, she says the Hummer had to just back it up. So whether you're a cautious squeezer or a courteous puller over, maybe it's good to remember that everyone is trying to get somewhere.
When you're driving, you tend to think you're the only person on the road, and all the cars out there are just other cars in front of you, but they're people, and bicyclists are people too.
I think it all just comes down to just being a nice person and help, trying to do the right thing here.
Yeah, that's all. It's just slow it down, take it easy, and get home safe.
And don't forget to watch out for those mirrors. Nicole Brady, Denver 7.
I don't know, Brian, are you a squeezer or a puller over?
It's usually a game of leapfrog with the openings on the side.
That's
you just kind of
true.
inch your way down the street. We want to hear your perspective on this. Who do you think should have the right of way when passing through narrow side streets? Make sure to comment on Facebook or Twitter. You can also reach out to us by emailing 360@thedenverchannel.com.